G'day, Dave James here from Marintec. Today we're going to do a product feature on a brand called NOTUS out of Canada, Newfoundland, Canada. NOTUS are a very clever company, manufacture a range of wireless underwater acoustic sensors. So you'll see the sensor has no wires connected to it. Basically the sensor is charged via these pins on the side. This can be then deployed under the sea for either commercial fishing, scientific, and other sort of applications. Essentially there's a transducer here in the head of the sensor, some electronics on the side. It's pressurized so that it can be deployed really deep, and quite clever in that what it will do is it'll give a series of information back from a remote location to the ship underwater wirelessly over thousands of meters. So how would you expect to see these deployed? Well, in commercial fishing, these sensors are mounted in the door pockets on the doors, and this sensor on the top will send back a signal with a range from the ship. The ship itself has a hydrophone installed in the hull and some electronics in the wheelhouse, and the thing that makes NOTUS really clever, unlike any other underwater acoustic fishing products, these guys have two-way interrogated technology. So from the ship, you can ping the sensors and they'll come back with their information. So what sort of information could you expect to receive? Well, besides range, which is really important, so we can see from the hydrophone on the ship to each door where these pockets are mounted, we get a precise range there, accurate to 1/2 meter. So we can see whether one warp is effectively, or one door is staggered and towing aft or forward of the other door. And we can also see the spread, the opening between the doors. So what that allows us to do is it allows us to work out triangulation. Really important, make sure that rig's optimized and towing square to your target fish. Inside the sensor there's various options, so you can have, you'll see on the end here, we've got a little square piece. Inside here is your roll and your pitch. So really important when towing a door, you obviously want that door to ride, if you're bottom trawling, on that aft point. You don't want the door flat or leaning forward or too far back. So we have the ability to monitor the pitch, make sure that door's towing optimally for that door manufacturer. And we can also check whether the door's pitch is rolling in or rolling out, which is really, really important too. So usually you tend to get your pitch right, and then once you're happy with your pitch, you'd probably monitor roll on a more regular basis. Other options we have in here are temperature. So if it's important to you, temperature. Once again, all this information is being sent back wirelessly underwater, which is pretty cool. And the other option you get is door depth. So important to have a depth sensor in there because we may be fishing on an area of flat bottom, but we may suddenly notice through the sensors telling us that one door is coming off the bottom, or both doors may be flying off the bottom. And since this sort of technology has been introduced, we have found that rig behavior has been far more erratic than people think, especially when switching over to Dyneema warps, where your gear, obviously the wire tows the gear pretty close to the seabed. Dyneema, obviously less weight in the Dyneema, so some modifications are required, and NOTUS really helps customers with understanding what the gear is really doing, speeds up that learning curve so you can optimize your rig to tow correctly. Besides the distance sensors, we also have a sensor available from NOTUS called a catch sensor. So very similar device, except that it has a magnetic plunger switch with a wire coming out the side of it, which attaches to a rubber band. The rubber band is attached to the mesh on your cod end on the net. And as the premise is pretty basic, as the net starts to fill up, the fish start to expand that mesh in the net, and that pulls those rubber bands, which eventually pulls that wire and that plunger switch to trigger. And so in the wheelhouse, hundreds or if not thousands of meters away, the skipper will get a ping on his screen to let him know the catch sensor's gone off. He may employ 1, 2, 3 catch sensors, depending on how many he wants, staggered up the cod end. So the idea there is that he knows that the cod end is either filling or has filled to his desired amount, and he can place that catch sensor forward or aft depending on whether he wanted it to trigger early or trigger late, whatever it may be. Why that's important is that a lot of skippers will just tow on time, so they'll just do a set tow of 2 hours, 3 hours, 8 hours, whatever it may be, and then they haul to see what they've caught. That's not ideal trawling really, so the benefit of a catch sensor is that he knows when the bag's full, he hauls. That way he gets the best quality catch rather than towing that fish around for the next few hours where it obviously will degrade the quality of the fish. So you can get it on board and packed away quickly in best condition, gives the best price at the market. Also, it allows a skipper to target a particular area. So if that was a pocket of fish, after he's hauled, he would have saved that on the chart plotter. He can go back and retarget that school again and maximize his catch. So that's a real another benefit there. Obviously, from a safety point of view, you don't want to overfill your bag too. Too many fish presents a safety concern for the vessel, trying to get it aboard. So it's about towing smarter. So yeah, that's just a couple of the popular sensors from NOTUS. The most common sensors that we get involved with. There are a range of other products, a range of other applications. So yeah, if you want more information, check us out, marintec.co.nz, and get in touch. More than happy to help you out if you have any questions, need any information or pricing. Thank you.